Hi friends, Jim Grey Wolf here in the Garden of the Gods outside of Manitou Springs in Colorado. Seemed like a good place to talk today. I want to talk a little bit about hollow bone, and then we'll make a video out of this, I hope, and get it posted. Sharon will give her thoughts from the other side, but there's so many people asking for healing lately, wanting to be healed, asking who they can find to heal them, because they think we're hollow bones and they want the answers, but they don't really understand what hollow bone is. So I want to talk a little bit about hollow bone. Hollow bone is just that. Think about a hollow bone or a hollow reed. It's empty on the inside. It's a conduit. It's a pipe for things. That's what hollow bone is. There are, in my teachings and the way I've experienced it, there are no healers. None at all. No one can heal. The best you can do at healing is to heal yourself. And if you're doing that, you're doing quite well. But a lot of people have gotten into the spiritual place that they are hollow bones. I've worked at it for many, many, many years. I don't claim any titles. Those who claim titles, try to avoid them. If people say you do such and such, that's fine. But being a hollow bone means having ego and control. That doesn't mean no ego. Ego by itself is not a bad thing. We all need a little bit of ego. The problem comes when ego gets out of control and starts to take over, and you do everything out of ego. Then nothing happens. Hollow bone means getting into that spiritual place where you are totally in your heart. You're totally connected to spirit, to the spirit within you here, to the spirit around you, which is why this is such a wonderful place to talk about this a little. This is an incredibly spiritual place. And connected to those around you. Certainly connected to the one who's asking you for some assistance in their healing journey. Once you get into that place, you can allow the energy to come through you. Whether you call that the energy of God, Great Spirit, Jehovah, energy of the universe, whatever, doesn't matter. It's that overall energy, that essence that's around us and in us that comes through the hollow bone. It's that energy you can give to someone who's asking you for assistance, someone who feels they need healing, to help them and support them as they heal themselves. They still have to do the work. There's too much in Western medicine around silver bullets, around doctors saying they can give you a drug and you are cured. Cured, maybe. That means you don't feel pain anymore. There's no symptoms, but you're not healed. The causes of what was causing the pain are not gone. That's what being hollow bone helps to allow. You offer that energy as it comes through, if it does. It's up to the universe, it's up to Creator, whether to use you as a hollow bone or not. But if that energy comes through, you provide it to the other person, or yourself, if you're working on yourself. And you use that for your personal healing. It maybe sounds like a small differentiation, but it's not. I can't go to anyone and heal them. I can't lay my hands on them. I can't do ceremonies. I can't say prayers and heal anybody. And yet many people who I've worked around suddenly had healing. All that means is I did a good job being a hollow bone. I did a good job conducting that energy. I asked for that energy to come through me from the universe, from the cosmos, from Creator. And I was able to let it come through, and because I was controlling my ego, not allowing my ego to surface, I just let it go through and into the other person. And so I've seen amazing things happen, including on myself. And Sue and I, when we worked in the past few years, I was that for her, her healing guide. I couldn't heal her. No way could I heal her. Doesn't matter how close you are to someone or how distant you are from someone. Doesn't matter if I'm standing next to you or thousands of miles away. Sharon's a great example of that, as she and I work together now. Now again, I'm being healing bone, as she is for me. We're 9,000 to 10,000 miles apart, but it works just as well. Because again, it's energy. It's energy. It's not me doing anything to her or her doing anything to me, but it is providing support and energy. So when you want to ask for some healing, please be aware what you're asking for is support in your own healing. Be aware if you don't do it yourself, it won't happen. No matter how good I can be at being a hollow bone, or others I've seen, including my teachers who taught me much of this, no matter how good I am, I can never heal you. They could never heal me. But they could give me energy when I needed it. And believe me, I've had times I've needed it dearly as well. So that's what I have to say on hollow bone. Hollow bone, lack of ego, lack of expectation, because sometimes nothing happens. Or it seems like nothing happens, but a lot is happening. Versus people who say they're healers, they're shamans, they're leaders, they're all kinds of things, which tells me basically they're nothing. They don't understand. They're not bad. Maybe they haven't learned this yet. This takes a while. It took me a long time. I thought when people around me got sick and started to die at one time in the past, and my own health got really horrible, that I could cure those things. I could change those things. I could reverse those things. And that's when I learned I have no effect on the outcome, which in some ways is quite freeing, because whatever happens, as that energy courses through you, as that healing essence comes through you and into another or into yourself, you will see things happen. Sometimes nothing, as I say, sometimes a great deal. Someone appears healed. But you will not feel blame when nothing happens, nor will you take credit when something happens. It's not you healing, it's the Creator, it's the universe healing. Accept that and sit with that for a while. And we will do some writing on this later as well, do some blogs, and ask for questions, because many, many, many people are coming about this now, which makes sense. This is the time of big change. We're all going through massive changes, all of us. So thank you for listening. Listen to the other parts of this, and then we'll connect on the sites. Ho, Mitaki Ase, we're all one. Be well.
Hi there, Sharon here. And you know, this is a great opportunity to talk about hollow bone. Jim said so many important, critical things to accomplish to be a hollow bone, and now is the time to do it. Now is the time to leave that cocoon and really become something that has nothing to do with control whatsoever, has nothing to do with ownership. I'm sorry, there's a lot of wind here, which, by the way, I don't control the wind. And I think there's something even better of me not being able to control than to control something. This is exactly what hollow bone means. I just, I want to empower this time, what Jim said. And I'm, it's, again, I'll repeat again, it's so critical to be a hollow bone right now. Those changes, those enormous changes that are all around us, and the wind definitely signified it by this moment right now. These changes are telling us there's huge energy that is approaching, that is already here, that tells us that we need to maintain the bone to be strong and hollow, because as you know, the more strong, the strongest the bone is, the more energy we can achieve to accept that this kind of energy will be here to help us, to guide us. And that is actually what hollow bone means. It's not about being in control. It's not about being in any kind of power stand. It's not about even power. It's about energy. It's about flow. This is the differences between power and energy. When you have the energy to do things, you will do them in harmony, in synergy. You will nurture the circle. But when you do things that is not, it's out of power, that will come from power, that power will eventually will fade away. It took me a lot of time to figure it out. It took me a lot of practice, especially now working with Jim. It got so clear in the last 15 or 16 months of working with Jim Gray Wolf. And this is the mirror, this is the reflection that I was looking for, but I cannot point my finger at. So now I can do that, and it's absolutely amazing. That's absolutely great. So, you know, Jim talked about no healers. There are no healers. He is absolutely right. We're not healers. We're holding the mirror up high in front of the people or the person that we are connecting with at that moment, we're communicating with. And it's more than a healer, because a healer, let's just say, if I'll give you an example, if a person that calls himself a shaman or a healer, he actually that person takes a full responsibility of you being cured. Can that person for 100% make sure that you will be cured? No. Not a healer and not a shaman and not even a doctor, not even a Western medicine doctor. What we can do, what Jim and I are basically trying, or not even trying, are bringing to that circle, to our circle, is the fact that we're here to make sure that you can bring that medicine to yourself, that you can provide your own changes. And that's how you do it. That's how you actually do it. And I'm in the most beautiful place here, near the Mediterranean Sea. You don't see it right now because the sun is exactly at the beach. I will probably, I don't know, I'll try to provide some pictures later, but that's, you know, maybe you can hear the waves, but not a lot of waves today. And this is something that, you know, the beach provides me that energy to talk about whole bone, or even a lot of spiritual aspects that we need to approach in these times of change. There is a difference between emptiness and being hollow bone. Being empty means that there is no energy that flows, that the bone that is hollow is not strong enough to allow that energy to flow. A hollow bone means to be a tube, an instrument to every kind of energy whatsoever, whether you like it or not, as part of the understanding that it is all about the learning, all about the journey, and that's what it is. And to be a hollow bone is to allow that energy to flow, while being empty has no energy, has no stability to allow any kind of energy to flow. So this is something that we need to understand. I talked about, like a minute ago, I talked about labels like healers, shamans, doctors. These are only labels. We have to remember that. Those labels are good, but not good enough. They're not good enough to provide those questions that we need to ask ourselves to move forward in that process of healing. So healers and shamans are only labels, and that is absolutely the truth. Jim talked about ego. Ego is something that is important. We need ego as much as we need doubts, as much as we need truth. How can we accomplish balance if we don't know our all of our aspects, all of our elements. Ego is one of them. Ego is an element. Too much ego can bring us down. Too much doubts can bring us down. Too much fear or anger or anything else can bring us down. But the most important thing is that we will keep the balance inside always. I mean, we need to be aware, and awareness is the key word here. We need to be aware of everything that is going on, whether if we are even too much angry about something. And I was, even today, earlier I was really, really angry. And I understand that anger is part of the releasing that I'm going through. And I'm not the only one. There are a lot of people right now that are angry, that are sad, that feel all those feelings that they don't know what to do with them, all those emotions. And there is something about feeling everything at the same time that, that just occurred to me, that being hollow bone, a strong hollow bone, means that you can really feel everything at the same time and hang in there. And hang in there because you can, because the universe wants you to hang in there, because there is a lesson there. So we need to remember that. Hollow bone is all about accepting. It's all about the spiritual evolution, if you wish, to flow. It's very fluid. It's very not stable, but it's very balanced, and we need to remember that. It's all about the journey. It's everything about the journey. When you're a hollow bone, you don't care where the energy goes to. You care that there is energy that is able to move from one point to another, and so on and so on. Inside of you, around you, your friends, your family, your loved ones. And I think that one person that is hollow bone, a strong hollow bone, can change a lot of others around him or her. So that's food for the thought, if you wish. If you can see, there's a pile of rocks behind me, and I chose that spot because the wind is not so bad here, to be quite honest. But I chose this place because it's time to put those walls down and to make a bridge. So there's a wall of stones around me, and I'm going to make it a bridge. And it's not difficult. It is very much, well, it is difficult, but it's not like you can't do it. It's the fact that you know that you can. It's about timing, it's about awareness, it's about that hollow bone moment or aspect or even element that we need to provide ourselves. We really need to empower that bone to make it more hollow, because there is a great energy that comes forth, that is coming forth, especially in these times of change when we just moved to 2014, and we're about to finish the year of the snake, and we're about to enter to the year of the horse, which means that there is freedom, there is wild choices, wild options, and make yourself as wild as you can, and make yourself more than that, make yourself limitless, because you are, and healing is about being limitless and being able to identify yourself, to find your place. And it's not about the people around you, not always. It's about what you do and where do you do it and how and when. But it's never about why, because why, it's not a spiritual question anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But what matters is us, is you, is reflecting yourself, reflecting others, and allowing others to reflect you. The circle is about being guided and the person who is being guided is also the guide. So remind yourself that you're not only students but teachers as well. Leave the ego out of it, or at least too much ego. Let it go right now, and be an echo to yourself. Reflect on your voice, reflect on your physical being, on your spiritual being, all all the things that make you who you are, and keep holding that mirror up high, and that's what it means to be a hollow bone. So thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next video blog. Thank you.